Riveting content. Empowering your life. Welcome to the Sphere. This episode is sponsored by this Houston Housewives of Finance. For more information on increasing your cash flow, becoming your own money manager, and to schedule your complimentary personal finance strategy, contact the Houston Housewives of Finance today at 1-844-700-4463.
The Sphere Network. Looking to advertise? Join the Sphere's vast demographic reach of thousands of people all over the world. Send an email today at advertise@thesphere.tv or call us at area code 832-772-7789. Elite Dental Wellness. At Elite Dental Wellness, Dr. Ashandra Baptiste understands that one of the biggest obstacles is dental fear. The vision at Elite Dental Wellness is to ensure every patient is treated with respect, ultimate care, patience, and love. Call us today to make an appointment at area code 713-789-8680.
What's up, good people? Welcome back to another great episode of Technocrats. I am your host, Gary Lee, also known as G Hawkins. Now, look, you can find me anywhere online, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, at G Hawkins. That's G Hawkins with a Z. And coming all the way in from Skype land is our main man, Jonathan Davis. Jay, what's up?
Hey, what's up, good people? How you doing, Gary, out there in the studio?
Man, I'm doing fine, man. We're going to get you a little louder here in the studio because I want to make sure I can hear you. But, yeah, man, things are going well. I'm just another good day in technology, and I think we got some really cool conversations to be had today.
Yes.
Just based on what, you know, kind of things that have been going on around the society. There's a lot of digital trend stuff popping off, which I did not expect when I started to research what articles I want to talk about today.
Yes. It's a lot going on, but it's a lot of stuff going on with you in that studio, bro. I heard that many people are coming through there, fulfilling some of their dreams to do what we do every week. You're given an ability to do that from the Spirit Studio, to be able to present themselves, to be able to empower other people. How is that coming along?
You know what? To be quite honest, man, things are crazy great. We've got got to do a technical walkthrough later this week, and I'm glad you said that because I need to reply to someone's text message. I've got, a new show that started this past Saturday. Shout out to Tanisha Nicole over at Beyond the Bookshelf. So any authors that are listening to this right now, make sure you reach out to us. We can definitely have a conversation and possibly get you on her show, Beyond the Bookshelf, for all those authors who have a great story to be told and you've got a backstory that you want to get out. But yeah, K-Phonics is coming up. Bossy Woman's Guide, You Think It, We Say It, is going great. Mastering Your Morning is on the way out. I mean, we've got a lot of great shows that are coming out, and just had a great in-studio live audience for The Lifted Lifestyle this past Friday.
Wow, okay. That
went really well. So I'm just excited to see people's dreams and ideas actually come to fruition. So it's pretty cool.
Man, that's remarkable, bro. That's remarkable. People, you got to come check out the Spirit Network, come do a tour, and see, can you fulfill some of your dreams and reach out and get back to the community and empower others?
Well, I mean, I would probably say, I was talking to Tech back here. We're working through some audio issues, but definitely, balance it out to make sure it's right. But yeah, man, people do want to come through. We're constantly, creating environments where people can have, the opportunity to get the things that they love, the things that they want to do, and just take that to the masses. So once again, I'm just excited for that. And I like the fact that one of the coolest things on the back end about what we're doing right now is the fact that we're going Facebook Live right now. And at the same time, we've got another show over in our other studio that's going Facebook Live. Or may have just finished, but I love the fact that Facebook allows you to have 2 Facebook Live posts going, or multiple from what I understand, so I could do more than 2, at the same time. So
That's
we're not
what's up.
stricken, you know, where it's like, man, we got to find an alternate way. No, we can keep it going. So I'm happy for that, man. And just things are really just coming together. They're aligning in the right way and right order. So I'm with that.
That's it. That's kudos, man. Good deal.
Yeah,
I mean,
appreciate it.
Just one dive into some tech.
Hey, you know, and we always gonna have some hiccups here and there. That's just the name of the game.
Yeah.
Hence the need for Technocrats. This is what we do here. We try to give you the ins and outs of technology so you can be empowered. You know, taking that digital you to the next level. So, without further ado, Jay, let's hop into what we're talking about right now, and let's go through the run of show. I'm gonna flip the order around just a little bit, and I probably want to start with the news more so than anything because we're fresh off the Olympics and things like that, and or fresh into, depending on if you're still getting caught up. But there are a lot of high technology things that are happening in Pyeongchang. And 5G is one of those new technologies that's really kicking things off. So for those that are watching right now, we'll bring up the article for you. But this is a very small city in Korea, 44,000 or so people, but obviously they are using some of the best technology this world has to offer. Intel's gotten with a bunch of fans and offered up their 5G stations to ensure you get great content delivery. And we're talking speeds of up to not just 4K, but we're also talking about 8K speeds being transmitted over wireless. Not to mention just 5K, but we've also got some other things doing with self-driving cars. They're working their way through some virtual reality, which those are watching right now, you kind of get a glimpse of some of the VR stuff that people are enjoying, to give you a feel as if you were there. And they're just really pushing technology to that next level for these games. Now, keep in mind, we got Tokyo's coming up the pathway in 2020. So you already know, Jay, things are going to be crazy by the time they get to Tokyo, which coincides with that article that we were talking about, those self-delivery, what did we call them the other day, ferries?
Yeah. Yes.
So we have those ferries coming through, dropping off content. But what do you think about them utilizing the Olympics to actually put a lot of this technology on Front Street?
Well, the Olympics realized that, they had people who go out there and poll how many people they expect to attend certain events. Mm-hmm. And one of the biggest things is making sure you get a venue where you can have infrastructure to people can leverage all their smartphones. There's going to be a lot of traffic and data occurring. People text messaging, people doing live feeds, people are doing their own broadcast, their own podcast. Now, what kind of pipeline are they going to have there at this event? So we know the limitations of 4G is 100 megabits per second. Yeah. But theoretically, 5G can get to a gig or more per second. So that's going to open it up for them to have millions of people who can do their own streaming and do it in 4K and utilize the features they have on their phone. Yeah. And, in Japan's supposed to be one of the tech capitals of the world. And, Korea over the years has innovated by getting the smartphone game with Samsung. And we know Nokia used to be in Finland, but as of right now, we still like the tech that come out of Japan. So if they're going to showcase that, the 5G network has to be there. And it's going to have to be for the buy-in to be able to support those people to leverage the tech that's out. And like you touched on, the bandwidth and the calculations, the computations to handle just one car to drive itself to make deliveries, that's a lot. So to be using it, so 5G is going to have to be there. But what gets me, though, is that they are going to deploy this as such a big spectacle moment and an event. Usually people try to do it in small, cases. I'm sure they're going to do that. But this is going to be where it can be egg in their face. This don't go well. Do you think they're going to be able to make this timeline, Gary?
I don't know. That's a great question. But you're right. Like if they miss the mark on this, which could very well happen, depending on things occur, hiccups occur. I would probably say that I think they can get it done. I think there's enough R&D already in place, things already moving on the back end to make this a reality. But I would just hate to see what would happen if the mark is missed. I think that's the 30-pound or 100, what is it called, 100-pound elephant in the room?
Elephant in the room, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
like, don't miss the mark, because this could go completely horrible.
Right, because I think about like when we talked about Southwest by Southwest and other consumer electronics shows, people buy a certain amount of space to showcase their tech. Japan, on the other end, at this 2020, with them having this type of infrastructure of 5G, people are going to want to pay for a certain amount of space and to use that pipeline, that bandwidth, to say, hey, look at my driverless car, autonomous vehicle being used during the Olympics.
Yep.
It was used to help get people here. Look at this type of drone. Look at this other type of system that we have as well. So, but the thing we got to look at is the security level has to be there, the reliability, the uptime. And so other things, the tech, the tech may be working, but at this scale, for this many people to be deployed and to keep it secure, because we know those Russian and Chinese hackers are out there.
We surely know that's the truth. But before I dive into that, and because I do have another follow-up question for you, this particular portion of the show is sponsored by the Houston Housewives of Finance. So, did you know that only 4 states in the United States offer financial education? 33% or more than 77 million of Americans don't pay their bills on time. 39% of Americans carry credit card debt from month to month. And 39% of adults said they don't have enough in savings. Don't become one of these statistics, folks. Let Houston Housewives of Finance advise you on increasing your cash flow and becoming your own money manager by scheduling your complimentary personal financial strategy. Contact Houston Housewives of Finance today at 1-844-700-4463 or send them an email over to info@HoustonHousewivesOfFinance.com. Ask them how you can participate in a complimentary financial literacy workshop near you. Houston Housewives of Finance are the new faces of the new age of financial services. With that being said, good sir, what you made me think about when you said that is, do we kind of expect, Olympic Park and basically the Olympics as a whole, where all the tourists are and people are going? Do you think this is going to turn into like this new baby CES kind of sort of where new tech is just going to always appear up at the Olympics?
You know what, Gary? You on to something. I think it's a possibility. But I think with Japan hosting it, we talked about the 4K and some of the 8K TVs and things they show, video cameras at CES show that just happened recently. Mm-hmm. I think the showcase to the international world, people are going to want to show their tech and how they facilitate people throughout the venues and how people can capture experiences. Yeah, I think it will be a big thing. An addition to have is to have a tech thing there for people to see. And I think to help put your city on a map, to help people want to do tourism later on, or to see how well your city, your country is advancing. But I think this really only works for like countries like in Korea, of course, in Americas, and Japan, and some parts of Africa where people are doing things in tech, in India. But if they're for the Olympics, I can see them right away being able to showcase things, and they can really benefit them, because they have the roads and infrastructure things to be able to facilitate the autonomous vehicles, do the stuff with the drones and other things such as that.
Well, we shall see. I'm excited, and I just hope the marketers and advertisers don't go crazy with all the new technology. Everything's running around, and all you're doing is being advertised to. But
yeah,
we shall see. We shall see. Moving on in the news, let's talk a little bit about Facebook. But before we do that, Facebook, since we're talking about it, we've got to kill the Facebook Live. We can't keep it live forever. So you've got to go subscribe. So head over to sphere.tv/Technocrats. And we've got options, folks. You can find us on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, Stitcher, Spreaker, and of course, iHeartRadio. And at the same time, while you do that, make sure you share this out. Share with your family, your friends, your colleagues. Share with your loved ones. Share with your haters. Share with anyone and everyone so that they know where you can find great content each and every week. And at the same time, give us some constructive criticism. We want to know how we're doing. how we're putting together great shows for you, but we can't if we don't get the feedback from you all. So please make sure to give us some constructive criticism when you're rating us on those platforms. And of course, last but not least, if you love what we're doing, sow a seed. Go to sphere.tv/donate. We've got a few donation options for you. You can donate one time right on the website, or you can donate via Patreon and get exclusive content that's just for you. Once again, Facebook Livers, we're going to cut the show here, but make sure you come over and subscribe with us right here at the Sphere. So, moving right along with this party, let's talk a little bit about Facebook for a second. So the Next Web had an interesting article in regards to Facebook's decision about how they want to battle these issues with, how shall I say, fake news. I think that's the word of the past, 18 months or so.
Right.
How they want to go out and try to police, in some way, shape, or form, the advertisers' presence that they have coming on for some of the U.S. elections. So, what they've decided, folks, and I kid you not, right? And it's funny on one aspect, but it's understandable on the other. Facebook's decided that they're going to send postcards, physical, mailable postcards, to your address as an advertiser to verify that it's really you when they're taking these ad dollars. So now you'll receive a postcard that's sent to the address statewide with a code that you then authenticate with for that particular advertisement to be listed on Facebook in regards to the congressional midterm elections. Now, here's the thing. I've seen postcards used on Google's aspect when they want to verify that you own a business, right?
Okay.
So they'll send you an ad in the mail, a postcard in the mail and say, hey, put this code in. That tells us that you literally get mail at that physical address. So that has to be your business address or whatnot. But it's an interesting situation for a security practice to prevent election funding by foreign nationals, which is an illegal situation. So I don't know if they're taking an old school playbook from special counsel back in the day, but I don't know if this is going to work, Jay, or I don't know. I mean, it's weird, but logical. I mean, what's your thoughts? I'm kind of on the fence on this.
To me, this sounds like a news grab item in the Facebook put out, but it seems like it can be much more, but will it actually be effective? Mm-hmm. In a sense, they are recognizing that, hey, it was an exploitation that occurred in the last election, and it was devastating. Yeah. And there's a lot of vulnerabilities that happen on Facebook's watch, much by these foreign nationals. So I think Facebook, as they get ready for the next midterm election, they realize that they're going to have to put some measures in place, or precautionary measures in place, to where, okay, let's try to do some type of verification that this is the actual person who's publicizing or who's actually marketing or recommending this individual to be in office. Who are they supporting? Who are they putting their money behind? But I feel like, just like people do with fake email addresses and things such as that, I mean, this is not really going to deter or stop anyone for contributing money or doing advertisements for a particular candidate that they want. I mean, I don't know. And also, too, it's like it's going to be costly on Facebook. And what is about 300 million people in America? And let me just say, 80 million? I don't know how many people participated in the last election. Let me just say 80 million people. I mean, that's going to, and I'm pretty sure out of the 80 million people, probably 67% of those people are Facebook in America. So that's going to be costly for them to send out those postcards to everybody.
Well, I think they're only sending them to those who are advertising, not to the people who are going to receive the ads.
Okay, so just the people who are putting on their own Facebook page that they are for a particular candidate.
Well, so if let's say I'm a part of, DeJuan Johnson's advertising run. And yes, I picked the word DeJuan Johnson because Wakanda forever. That's how I'm feeling right now.
Oh, that's what's up.
But let's say DeJuan Johnson is running for a position, and I'm part of his campaign. I'm his campaign manager. And so I'm logging into social media, doing some ad buys, and let's say I'm spending $100,000 on Facebook ads. They're gonna, when I sign up for an ad, I say I want to run it until the elections in November. They're gonna send me a postcard back to the campaign office with a verification code, so that I then log in with that verification code or authenticate against that verification code to ensure that the $100,000 I'm spending is from a business that's here in the United States.
Gotcha.
So I think that's how they're trying to handle it. So anybody who wants to purchase an advertisement for the congressional races, they have to get a postcard to authenticate against that address that they use. And supposedly, I guess you can't fake an address, physical address, because that's where it's going.
Right. I mean, do you applaud Facebook for doing this, or do you feel like it's not enough, or it just should be standard practice anyway?
I'm happy that they're doing something to say, okay, this money's coming in. I'm not just accepting a check. Like I'm literally going to try to verify, at least make sure that the money is coming in from U.S. Now, the question is, will this become standard practice moving forward, period, for all advertising? And that's with Facebook, because obviously Facebook's the biggest advertising agency in the world. And if that's the case, will this also become common practice in advertising? Will other companies follow suit and say, okay, we need to verify that ad dollars are coming from U.S. businesses in regards to X, Y, and Z? Or will other companies say, we don't care where we're getting the money from because we don't want to deter or slow down the process of getting these financing funds in? Or will they only do it just when it comes to election? That's the thing I'm kind of like leery about.
Okay, I got you.
But I'm happy they're doing something. So I think something is better than nothing. And we've seen, obviously, what nothing looks like. and that means Donald Trump, right? So you don't do nothing. This is kind of what we end up with.
Right.
So we'll see. And for those that are tuned in and watching us right now, let us know what you think. Do you think this is cool for Facebook to do? Or are they just spending unnecessary dollars? Do you care where the advertising dollars are coming from that are showing up on your Facebook feeds? Shoot us an email, technocrats@thesphere.tv, or hit us up across social media. Use that hashtag Technocrats when you hit us up at the Sphere TV, because we want to know. So, Jay, before we pivot into our next segment, this particular portion of the show is sponsored by us right here at the Sphere. So, are you starting your business or looking for a place to advertise? Do you have a need to reach out to thousands of people across the world to build your brand or sell your product? If so, get your product placement and advertising needs handled right here at the Sphere. We offer a wide variety of content delivery platforms, including iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, and Stitcher. Plus, we have a vast demographic reach within the United States, as well as modern countries across the globe. Our enriched content and inspiring dialogue, coupled with your strategic ad, is surely to hit the mark every time. Call us today at area code 832-772-7789, or send us an email over to advertise@thesphere.tv. So,
that's it.
Moving forward, let's hop over to our digital trends. So, our digital trends section is really when we like to have conversations that surround technology that's been on a particular track headed your way, right? One of the things, speaking of tracks, and pun was intended on this one, one of the things that we've seen coming up the pathway is something known as the Hyperloop. And guess what, folks? There's some feasibility tests that have gone on over in Cleveland in regards to the Cleveland to Chicago Hyperloop line. So let's dive into this story here, which for me is something that's going to be a big deal. For those that are watching right now, we're going to scroll down just a little bit and show you this map. And basically, for someone who wants to travel from Cleveland to Chicago, they're expecting the Hyperloop to go about 315 miles or so at a speed of about 700 miles per hour, which is going to cut that travel time for anybody trying to get from Cleveland to Chicago in 30 minutes. Yes,
Wow.
you heard me right. I'm
Wow.
telling you, the people that are in the Northern Ohio Metroplex area will be able to get down to the Southern Ohio area, which is Chicagoland, in 30 minutes for lunch. You could move. I mean, and Jay, we've talked about this. We talked about the concept of the ideas, the what this means for society when you're able to stay in other places. But these feasibility tests mean that this is something people are really interested in. We're talking about capsule sizes from anywhere from 28 to 40 passengers being able to flow within these areas. And these capsules are running every 30 seconds, folks. So we're not talking about something that you know is a small amount of people. You're literally saying we can move 150, almost 200,000 folks every day on this line. So right now it's all about getting regulations in place and making sure things are going up. But Jay, they're talking the market value alone in this particular region is about $15 billion. So money talks when you talk about moving these kind of people with this type of connection. Now imagine having to stop, right off at like O'Hare Airport, right? So you got people able to get to the air. Like, this changes the game for all types of folks. I mean, with this being said, Jay, like, I mean, are your thoughts still the same? You feel like this is a good move? You feel like there could be some holdups along the way? Like, how do you feel about this?
I am ecstatic. And I know it was just a year ago or less that we was talking about how he was looking for other projects besides California. And then we were talking about the thing they was going to do in Dubai. And we knew it was some potential sites here that we read off that list of places that was kind of approved for future sites to be in the future. I mean, future sites here in America. But now we're seeing that they actually brought it before a committee, and then the committee are looking at it in a survey to start looking at things, how to regulate the plans that they already have drawn up to get this project going.
Yeah.
So $15 billion net market revenue. And the thing about how this is going to be put in, I don't know how long, once they get this passed, they're anticipating for this project to last. But you think about high-speed commuter travel with high-speed freight hauling in a conjunction. So you talked about those different tubes that's there for Hyperloop and how they carrying those, 30 to 40 passengers or more, 50 passengers at a time?
Yeah, it says capsules hold anywhere from 28 to about 40 passengers.
Okay, wow. So I'm guessing they're going to have like a regular standard fee if you want, since it's going to be so fast. If you want to have one to give you Wi-Fi, have refreshments. I mean, you really don't need to give refreshments because it's so quick. But they're going to have something to do to have like a business one or like a first class or something like that, I'm sure, on those capsules. They may not run the first class that many intervals as they do the standard ones, but I'm sure they're going to integrate that in some kind of way. But the point I'm making is that the fact that they're going to be able to carry these commuters in this high-speed freight travel from Chicago to Cleveland, and what we got to realize is that airplanes has to be grounded because of bad weather, right? Yeah. Big trucks got to be grounded because of bad weather. You don't have to worry about anything on the ground.
Nothing. Except for earthquakes, but this ain't an area that normally has earthquakes. So.
Right. Yeah. So your reliability, if you need to get something somewhere, and like I said, you ain't got to deal with all that stuff, because I think it's probably like a percentage of packages that Chicago O'Hare, that has a FedEx there, probably the airport, and then UPS, they probably have a percentage. They say 2% of our packages we just lose or get lost, whatever deal, or it's just because it's so massive and so big. But if you cut down the time of transport, you're going to cut down on mistakes, because if the less amount of time that thing has to be in transit or have to sit somewhere, that package, you just get it from the destination here and there, bam, in an hour or two. I think it's going to help the reliability, and that's going to be something they're going to be able to use to sell to get people to want to invest. And then, too, they know more likely the reliability is going to be safely getting there, rain or shine, sunshine or snow, which we know in Cleveland, a lot of snow and Chicago. So with that being there, they're going to make so much money either way it goes, from the high-speed freight hauling for people who, like if a UPS or FedEx want to use it, and also for us as commuters who want to go see our loved ones and do other things in the city. So this is great to see that this is actually at the point to where they already got some plans. They're thinking about how to regulate it. And this is going to create a lot of jobs for individuals as well. And it's going to affect so many other things. And Elon Musk and that Boring Company, this man is going to be a Rockefeller and everybody else all together.
Well, we surely know that, man.
Yeah.
We surely know that. The funny, the interesting thing about this technology, which makes sense, which is something that we've been seeing in popular science magazines since I was a kid, like seeing these tubes and people traveling in tubes. We saw it on the Jetsons, where you would see people traveling in tubes before they get in their space cars. But like, this is real. Like, people are really going to be doing this. We're talking sub 10 years from now. So, Jay, before we're in our 50s, we're going to have people that are traveling to and from places in these tubes at 500, 600, 700 miles an hour that are able to get to and from in speeds that we've never thought was possible.
Right.
On land. Obviously, airplanes are 300, 400 miles an hour in the air, but to be able to double that underground and not have to go through the same process for the check-ins and all that as of yet, I mean, for what this adds, for what this going to bring for people as far as opportunity is concerned, jobs, like this is technology not doing what it normally does, which is disrupts and takes people's jobs, but this is technology putting jobs into America again, Yes. And obviously that this means that some people who would normally fly somewhere would not necessarily fly. This also means that some people who would normally put freight, like you were talking about, through a FedEx or UPS on their vehicles or big trucks are going to use other means, Hyperloop capsules and whatnot. But what this also means is that prices are going to go down. Because as an airline, you can't keep charging us $300-$400 for round trip. If I can, and we don't know what the cost is as of right now. Our podcast technician held up a sign earlier asking the cost. It doesn't mention in this article, but I would make the assumption that some of these tickets will probably be, $40-$50, maybe round trip.
Yes.
So it would be cost appropriate, but you can't keep charging us $300-$400 for a flight when I can pay a fraction of that cost and get there in a quarter, literally a quarter of the time. You can't do that.
So I have two questions. If an airline company out there now, you know how most of them had to merge in the last 15, 20 years, or 10 to 15 years actually. Who do you foresee, and if you do think it's going to be one, who do you think it would be as an airline that would say, you know what, we need to go ahead and start investing and name our own Hyperloop travel?
You mean like a airline merging with the Hyperloop company, or what do you mean?
Yeah, so you know how you're going to have the stations? We know that over time, like you had to transport in the station from A to B from Chicago to Cleveland. You're going to have another one going to Baltimore, going to D.C., Philly, going more westward to Cali. It's going to be all the way across. It's going to be like we're going to say United Airlines or Southwest this side. I mean, do you ever see the airlines get in this? Airline, it's going to still have that good means of travel, and they got some big Airbuses. But do you see the airlines, anybody in particular, diversifying and saying, you know what, let me try to get in this Hyperloop business too?
I would say this. They better, because the moment, and here's what it comes down to, right? It comes down to the cost. If, I think there are a couple of companies, Hyperloop TT, and then there's another company that's that like the Richard Branson has a company, I think. But when all these companies get together and they decide what the fees are going to be for people to ride these new style of transportation, if they can keep the cost in a mitigated state to where people can afford this and they're still turning a profit, because it's a brand new market, right? Nobody's done this before, so they literally decide how much this is going to cost, and based on what they've spent and what they're trying to profit. But if you can put 165,000 people through this thing in a day, and if let's just say you charge them $10, right? That's $1.6 million a day. That is 300 plus shit. Let's run the numbers all the way out. That's $500 million a year if you charge them $10 a day. Round trip.
Wow.
If you charge them $10 a day one way, that's $1 billion company a year, easy. And that's just one company, right? With one track. So you know that once you do one, they're going to be multiple going the same way, different companies, different capsules, whatnot. So I say that to say if they can keep costs right, this could theoretically be the nail in the coffin for airlines if airlines don't adjust their price points and structure and efficiencies in the airports. Because there's no way I would decide if I need to go to New York and I can ride the Hyperloop and it'll get me there in an hour, I'm not going to fly United for 3 hours, which means I had to go to the airport 2 hours early, go through security, go through this, that, and the third, when I can show up to the Hyperloop station 30 minutes before time, get my ticket, show it to the conductor. Let's think old school train. Show it to the conductor. He lets me on, or gets me ready or prepped in my capsule.
Right.
It makes no sense for me to spend more money for a longer time when I can pay less for a better experience. So
that's true. You're right.
I think it all comes down to the money. That's going to determine the buy-in. And if the cost is right, Southwest is going to have to get into the business. United is going to have to get into the business because you won't be able to compete.
Yeah.
Let's keep it a buck, man.
That's it. And all the people who have phobias over flying, things like that. I mean, maybe they can do the Hyperloop.
Maybe so. We shall see. Speaking of competition, this particular portion of the show is sponsored by Elite Dental Wellness because she wants your business, folks. So at Elite Dental Wellness, our vision is to create a welcoming practice that will offer exceptional dental care and a lifetime of dental wellness. We're committed to the finest possible oral care and the overall health and well-being of our patients. Elite Dental Wellness is built upon a foundation of integrity, expertise, and service. Through our commitment to modern dentistry, continuing education, and friendly atmosphere, we strive to make our patients feel that they are a part of our family. Dentistry can be scary, daunting, and uncomfortable. Dr. Batiste and her team work tirelessly to ensure your comfort. Make your appointment today with Dr. Chandra Batiste at Elite Dental Wellness by calling 713-789-8680. And if you say the Sphere, you'll receive 10% off your services.
There you go.
But there it is, Jay. Another great week of tech news and things that are coming down the pipe, my G. I'm excited to see where things head. And I think a lot of our viewers and our listeners out there are probably excited as well.
Yeah, and you know what I'm excited about? Just to talk about Black Panther. The tech that we see in there for transportation. I'm not going to give away from movies.
Oh, man.
Man, oh, man. Talking about the Jetsons.
Come on. Now that's technology.
Yeah.
You know what I may want to do? Maybe next week, we'll give people the whole week. And then maybe next week let's pick apart the movie, and let's talk about some of the dream technology that we saw, like with the vibranium transport, with some of the crafts and the way that they docked and undocked. Let's have that conversation, man, with the nanotechnology. I think that would be an interesting little segment.
If you thought Stark Industries was tight, you gotta see Iron Man. You gotta see Black Panther. Yeah.
For real. But on that note, good folks, 'cause we're not going to give y'all too much. You got to make sure y'all go see Black Panther and check out that technology in that film. Jay, where can the good people reach you at this week?
Hey, y'all can hit me up on Twitter, Instagram, AstroTesla80.
And, of course, you can reach us here at the show. Shoot an email over to technocrats@thesphere.tv or at the Sphere TV. Use our coveted hashtag Technocrats. And for those that need to reach me directly, feel free. Shoot me a DM. Hit me in my DMs over at G Hawkins. That's G Hawkins with the Z across all social media platforms. This has been another great episode. We will see you all next time. Take care.